LA home. Been here, man. I've been over here residing on the east side for all my life. East side is all I know. Nah, but the city of LA, it's a cold city, man. People from outside, they look at the city, they see the glitz and glamour, and they hear about the stuff that goes on. But little do they realize, bro, some of this stuff hits so close to home. Everything in LA is literally 15 minutes away. You 15 minutes away, you go to Beverly Hills. Guess what? People getting flocked in Beverly Hills now because niggas done found out, nigga, I can just hop on the bus. If I ain't got no car to go flock niggas in Beverly Hills. Just that simple. So y'all gotta be on P's and Q's out here. I love LA though. I would never ever want to be in any other place in the world. I am blessed to have said that I was born and raised out here. I wouldn't want to be in any other place, but the city is rough sometimes, man. Only the people from inside the city understand that. My clearest childhood memory. I can remember back in like because I was born in 91, so I can remember as far back as like 90. I can remember some stuff from like 96, 95. So that stuff like about 4 or 5. Like, I remember watching the Jordan flu game in the front with my grandparents, because all I remember was hearing the announcer saying, "He's doing all this with the flu." I kept on hearing him say flu so many freaking times. That's the thing that stood out for me in that game. I don't remember watching the game like that. I remember hearing that specifically so many times. And it's a trip. And now I look back at it, that was like, bro, like over, like almost like, it seemed like close to 30 years ago almost. Like, it's like about 26, 27 years. Growing up in LA was very, very, very different, especially considering the time that I was, at the age that I grew up in LA. I remember from early on, from kindergarten, I actually went to a private school. And the private school was located in Watts. So I went to that private school until I was about in 6th grade. Then I transferred over to Drew Middle School. I was over there for a while. Well, I was there till 8th grade. And then, but throughout that period, it was a weird transition because in the private school, I was like protected because it was a church school. So I was really protected from the outside world as far as a lot of the stuff that was going on, because I would go there and just go home. And I stayed with my grandparents. So I was protected from a lot of the stuff. I didn't really start getting exposed to a lot of the, more of the real Los Angeles until I went to Drew. And I really started seeing, like, that was my first time, like, really seeing niggas that was gangbanging, like, my age. Before I didn't experience that. I had no reason to run into those type of people unless they were, like, my cousins or, like, some of my cousins' friends or, like, people that stayed around the block. But they were older than me. And then, over there I had the most fun over there at Drew, probably out of all my school experiences except for my junior and senior year. Those were the most fun experiences I had was over there. It was because it was a change of pace from what I was used to, and it was my first time, like, really, like, I was able to express myself more at Drew. Then I was supposed to go to Fremont. Fremont was full, and I ended up going to the Valley. Valley was a whole different, like, experience in itself. Now, I'm still going home and experiencing all the stuff in LA. But guess what? During the daytime, I'm over there in the Valley chilling. The area where I was at was way better area than some of the stuff that I had to deal with by my house. So my experiences in LA growing up were it was up and down. It was it was more good times than bad, but I really felt like experiencing LA from a non-gang banging aspect is a dope thing to deal with. Cause I didn't have to deal. I didn't have to deal with none of that gang banging stuff when I was growing up. I had my niggas that was around me that was dealing with it though. You know, like I said, family members and stuff. But me personally, I was straight. All right, so let me go through the various tiers of Nyne9 in school. So from kindergarten to like I want to say like fourth grade, my grades was always cool, but I was just a kid that just I'm goofy. I was a class clown. I would always get in trouble with disturbing the class, doing stuff like that, and then I was always the biggest kid in class anyways. So when I was in kindergarten, I was in second grade already. I got the second grade, I like a freaking third or fourth grader, and then so on and so forth. So, and the bigger I got, the louder I got. So, and that gets to where I'm at right now. But when I got to I want to say fourth grade, I just stopped doing my homework, bro. Like straight up, I just stopped doing my homework. And I just did enough to make sure I got passed. But the thing was, I got into it with a teacher when I was in fifth grade. And that teacher didn't like me. And her name is Miss Flores. Miss Flores did not like me none whatsoever. She was a young teacher from Arizona. She was probably about 25 around that time. She was teaching me. And I believe that was like her first spin at teaching. And she was not prepared to deal with a kid like me. No whatsoever, bro. She was not prepared to deal with it. Not for her first run. I probably prepared her for every single kid. She's probably a wonderful teacher now, but at the time when she was with me, she was a bitch. So, nigga, for real. So then, I got to sixth grade, and I had this other teacher, and it was her first time there. So, me and that teacher was cool. I also had my same problems, but me and that teacher was cool. But when she started talking to my fifth grade teacher, bro, I got kicked out of school literally a month later. I got blamed for everything that was wrong in the class. Everything was my fault. I didn't do nothing wrong, bro. I was just funny. Then they didn't know how to deal with it. And I spoke my mind in a private school. They didn't like that either. They wanted you to follow this strict line of doing things, and no, bro, I wasn't with that. So I ended up going to Drew. Drew was fun for me because I felt like outside when I was in the Valley, that was my real first taste of freedom at school, bro. Like all through that private school, hardly no fights happened, bro. There was nobody doing nothing over there at the school as far as like smoking on campus or shit. None of that shit was going on, bro. When I got over there, Drew, in sixth grade, nigga, all that shit happened within a week. Nigga, I'm like, yo, this shit is fun. Nigga, I'm having fun at school, nigga. So, I was cool up over there for like sixth grade. I did my shit. Seventh grade came around. I still wasn't doing homework, bro. I switched, because the way Drew was set up, it was a track school. So it had A track, B track, and C track. I was on every track except A. At one point, the way the track system is set up, you're in a group, basically the same group of kids for a very long time. So like you'll be like, all right, I got most of my classes with this group of people, but there's times where I'm with this group during this class. So at one point, my class got switched 3 times on C track, bro. I knew literally everybody on C track. And then I got the B track. I switched twice over there. So, like, I literally, at one point, I knew, like, about 85% of the school.
You use that to your advantage?
Of course.
How so?
Bro, I was always a funny guy. So, during that time, I wasn't smoking none of that during that time. So, like, for me, everything I did was just for fun. So, I go over there. I would ditch class and go to the go to the homies at PE during their time period, all that little shit like that. But the bad thing was when you switch around like that, there's more teachers that recognize you, and I'm not an easy nigga to hide, so I would get caught doing a lot of shit. So like the funniest shit that happened to me in middle school, bro. So they had this thing that was called I think it was called like intercession or something like that. So in between tracks, it would be like a summer school setup type of thing. But if you wasn't, it wasn't always during the summertime. So during intercession, it's basically summer school. You go over there, you take these classes or whatever, and make up for your grade. So I decided that my grandfather didn't drink when he got older, but he always had this pack of beer for his brother that came over. So when his brother go over there, he always have a pack of Budweiser for him. So bro, I took some Budweiser in a fucking what did I put it in? I think I put it in like in a Kool-Aid packet, and I was drinking the shit at school. So bro, I did that shit 2 days in a row. The second day, I had to fucking pee. I'm in the front of the school, bro. So nigga, I'm like, I'm not about to make it to go inside. I tell the homie, I'm like, hey bro, look out for me. I gotta go over here. I'm gonna go over here and take this piss real fast. I'm like, he like, all right, nigga, I got you. This nigga bullshit. I'm like, oh, somebody coming. I'm like, where? So, bro, when he does that, I get pissed on the sign because the school sign is right next to the bushes. So I'm like, fuck, but I still gotta pee. So this nigga's laughing, bro. Tell me why the assistant principal pulls up. Assistant principal sees me. He's laughing, but he has to kick me out. I get kicked out of intercession. I didn't graduate from Drew. I was supposed to go to Fremont, and that's when I ended up going to Reseda. I love Reseda High School. Reseda High School. If you was at Reseda High School throughout the time period where I was there, bro, you had a lot of fun there. Especially if you knew me. You had a lot of fun over there. The administrative people didn't like me too much over there. But the students, I had a lot of love from everybody from that school. I didn't really have too many enemies at the school unless you didn't like black people. That's the only reason why you wouldn't like me. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I was cool with everybody. And nigga, and I'm glad to say there are certain people that I'm cool with that they actually told me that like I was for real, they first black homie. And that's dope as fuck. Cause like nigga, I opened up a door for you to have a whole different perspective of a group of people. And I hope I didn't fuck it up for us. Not for really. But nah, but that shit is dope as fuck, bro. I really enjoyed school. I was having fun. I didn't enjoy the school work. I enjoyed the socializing at school. When I discovered music, as far as that's in general, or as far as like me
period. Discovering music, period.
Bro, I've been knowing music since I was freaking born. Like my dad, literally, him and my grandma, they literally had so many records, bro, that I still have at my house. There's so many crates of records, bro, that are from like the 70s, the 80s, the 60s, bro. So I've been hearing like old music for like basically most of my life. I like my grandmother wouldn't let me listen to rap music, of course. So the only time I listened to rap was when I would go to my other grandmother's house, and my uncles were there. They listened to rap music. They was younger than my uncles on my mom's side. Well, my mom's uncles were younger than the uncles I have on my dad's side. So they listened to rap music. That's the only time I would hear rap music was over there. Like nigga, I was growing up, nigga, listening to like old shit. Like my grandma, she loved Anita Baker. I listened to Anita Baker all the time. She loved Sade. I used to listen to that shit. I used to listen to Isley Brothers. My dad loved he loved Wham. R.I.P. to George Michael. Like, all type of shit. Like my dad loved like 80s pop music. So like my dad used to have he had Wham. He used to have I think he used to have like a couple of old Madonna tapes. Like from her younger shit before she started tripping. That's literally what he would tell me. Like her first, I think he said like her first tape or her first two was the ones, and after that she started going on whatever little shit that she was on. But he said when she first came out, she was pretty dope. But then my dad had other shit like Al B. Sure. My dad used to have his album. He had New Edition. He used to have who else? my grandma used to Peebo Bryson, all type of shit like that. They got me on. I listened to all that shit because of them. So I went from that to transition listen to hip hop. My first hip hop CD I brought, bro. I bought it from Tower Records. For niggas who don't know what Tower Records is, y'all niggas is too goddamn young for this goddamn interview. Tower Records used to be the shit. For real, bro. Tower Records was the shit back then, bro. And I bought it when they were going out of business. Like, our parents and shit know what Tower Records is. Some of y'all older brothers is like in their 30s and shit. They know what Tower Records is. But nigga, I went up over there and I bought Bone Thugs and Harmony Art of War CD. And it was 3 discs, I believe. That was my first hip hop CD I bought. I bought that, and I bought I think it was and I bought T.I.'s CD, the second one, the trap music. I bought those. Those are my first 2 CDs I bought. 2 very different types of hip hop, but they were both very, very good CDs. So people don't know about the Art of War CD. That shit is pretty dope. That was my introduction to hip hop. My brother, who when he used to come over, he used to play a lot of. I used to listen to it was Master P. He used to play a lot of Master P and No Limit CDs. He used to love No Limit, so I used to hear all No Limit shit when I was growing up. But he would hide it from my grandma, of course. So he would play that. He used to play Cannabis. He used to play Eminem. And I'm trying to think. It was somebody else he used to play. He used to play a lot of the West Coast music. Like, a lot of West Coast music I listen to is because of him. Like, he used to play Raz Kass. I'm not as big a fan as Raz Kass he is, but Raz Kass is very dope. He used to play Exhibit. He used to play he introduced me to Snoop Dogg CDs, of course. Dr. Dre CDs. I introduced most of the CDs from early on from hip hop, West Coast hip hop, of course. I learned from him. So he was most definitely, his influence of music as far as what I listened to when early on is very, very big. And then, of course, as I started listening to my own shit. So that's how I went from there. I started making music in high school, actually. And it started because my boys, they had this group up there, my boy's school, and my boy Ronell, and my boy excuse me, what the hell was Jeremy's name? Well, my boy Jeremy. they all had their group popping, and they needed a producer. So I'm like, nigga, I didn't heard my brother make beats and niggas over there. So I'm like, fuck it. I could try it. And nigga, I tried that shit. It was easy for me. I'm like, shit, I'm just figuring out, nigga, to build the shit around the clap. And that's all I did, The shit early on sounded trash, of course. But around that time, the shit sounded cool. But I was like 16 years old, yeah. The first piece of equipment that I bought. I started making beats on a computer that my grandma bought me. It was a desktop. The homie gave me no. My brother gave me Fruity Loops, I believe. Either my brother did or my boy Dice. I can't remember who gave me the first Fruity Loops I had. But I had that, and I was making beats on my computer through the stock speaker that they give you. That came with this. I didn't even have my own speakers, and I'm doing bass lines based on how it sounds through those speakers until I get a chance to play them somewhere else. So when I used to do that, and sometimes the shit came out cool, sometimes it didn't. So when I started that, and then later on I bought a no, I take that back. I bought a I bought a MIDI computer, not a MIDI keyboard from my boy KO. It was that was my first, and that was years later because I took a break in doing music for like 6-7 years. But when I got back to trying to start up again, I bought that from him. So that shit would end up being my very first purchase, and I got that from him for $20. It was a $20 keyboard, and actually I still have that keyboard at my house. Now that I think about it, that shit, like, it's fucked up. Like, the drum pads and shit don't work no more. But nigga, that's my first. That's my first keyboard. Like, that was actually mine. It was that one right there. When I first started making beats, I was around the time like jerk music was popping, which is funny because funny how times have sped up. Now all of a sudden, jerk music is popping all over again. But that was the type of beats like that was making around that time, like DJ Mustard signing beats, like the early Mustard and whoever the hell else was making beats for Pusha's Inc. and all that. That was the beats niggas was making around that time. So I started off making those type of tracks, and then I tried to venture on to making, my own type of shit. But fast forward, when I started making beats again, I'm like, I have to have, when you're doing something, you can't just go in unstructured. So in order to make myself better, I had to think of a structure that I wanted to use as my base in order for me to become better at what I'm doing. So I was like, let me go ahead and try to make like the West Coast beats. That's the type of shit niggas want. Niggas want this type of shit, so I'm gonna start with those. But my whole aspect of making beats is, one of my favorite producers is Daz Dillinger. Daz Dillinger and Battle Cat, like, they are the staples of like, niggas say Dr. Dre. Them niggas is the staple of the West Coast music as far as the beats and all that. And if you don't believe me, go look up what the hell Daz done produced, and you'll be like, whoa. So at the end of the day, no matter what I try to make it like Cali, make it West. But there's certain times, you go out of that. But I try to classify mine as like a West Coast, like, vibey type of, I don't know, bro. Like, I just go in there and just lay shit down, and whatever works. But it took me a long time to figure out, to get to where I'm at, bro. It took a lot of studying. It took a lot of gambles, a lot of, let me see if this works. Okay, it doesn't work. And, like, niggas who was with me early on know that when I didn't get something, bro, I had no problem going to look up what the fuck I was trying to do. Like, I couldn't make hi-hat rolls for a minute. Like, something that seemed so simple, but at the time I couldn't make them. I followed somebody on Instagram. I think it was FL Studio Tricks or something like that, or tips, some shit like that. And they were showing you how to make like little basic little rolls. So I went on there and looked. I'm like, okay, is this like this? I threw some on a beat that I already had. They sounded cool. So now I just got to figure out where I'm gonna place them. All beat making is placement. And the thing is, what I try to do with my beats is, I try to have them structured so that, like, a nigga can hop on there and, like, either spit like a story, or he gonna go his hardest rapping on this track, or if it's like some slow melodic shit, the nigga's gonna get his all into the melody of whatever he's singing or whatever. That's what I try to do. I try to make my beats tell story. They already have like a visual. Like, niggas have told me they didn't heard my tracks before, and while they rapping, they already see their music video if they were to do one for it. So that's what I try to do. I try to make my beats as visual as possible. That's the best way I can describe it. Personally, I just send beats out to people. I don't actually have a specific site. Excuse me, a specific site where you can go on there and look. I actually am working on that as we speak, and I'm gonna have it through United Masters, who just started their own beat. I guess their own beat. What they call that? Their own beat sharing platform. I can say that. So for producers, you can go on there now. You can sign up as a producer, like the same way you do with BeatStars with United Masters, which is dope as fuck because United Masters have a lot of individual like contracts and like endorsements that they do with people that a lot of other companies don't have. So that's a big reason why I mess with them heavy. But they're still a young company, but that's what I use to distribute most of my stuff. Or if I see an artist that's dope, I'll hit them up and be like, "Hey, bro, I got something I think you might want to hop on." I send out 1 or 2 beats at a time. You know, if they fuck with them, they fuck with them. They don't, they'll don't. If they'll tell me, "Hey, send some more through," just like that. That's how I get my beats going. But I'll most definitely have that beat page for everybody. Most definitely next year. I use FL Studio. FL Studio is the one I've used literally since 11th grade. So that's about 15 years, low key, like about 15 years. So I've used other programs before, but like GarageBand is dope. I actually like GarageBand for you can make dope melodies on GarageBand. So I've actually had songs where I made the melody on there and exported it and added it to FL, and then I dropped my drums on there. But I generally use FL. I've used Ableton before. I'm not a big fan of it. People like it. You know, a lot of people diss FL because they're like, "Oh, is this and that." You know, FL does crash. So people who use FL, make sure you save your beats a lot and make sure you have a backup for that. But FL is so dope because you can they simplify it so much to the point you can really go in detail. So sometimes being simple is the best thing you can do. Because the last thing you want to do is to have something overly complicated for no reason when this program pretty much covers all that. You know, instead of me doing 5 steps for this, FL makes it in 2 steps. So that's why I like that. And the FL, when you buy FL, there's actually programs that's already on there that you would have to buy if you didn't have it already. So like there's like for example, I didn't even know this until like I actually looked online and seen that you can buy these programs individually. Some of these programs is like $60, but they on their standard. So that's the way it is. That shit is dope. For new producers, I suggest either Ableton or FL Studio. That's where I will go. My brother had this label. It was called Meal Ticket Entertainment. He made a lot of moves, a lot of smart moves with that company. And I seen him build it from literally from the ground up to the point where they were literally just an artist away from taking that shit to the next level. And watching that, I learned a lot, and I saw what moves can be made in the right way and the wrong way. My cousin, he was the main artist over there. His name is Fresh, and fortunately he's incarcerated right now. But he was the main artist on our team at that time, and he had it, and he had a big following in Arizona, a very very big following in Arizona, and that was during the early 2010s, bro. And and the thing is, the area, like the suburbs of Arizona, fucked with him. And he's out here, so he used to go back and forth from out here to Arizona to do shows. And actually, if I don't know if y'all remember, it was the when YG did a show out there in Arizona, around the early 2010s, and there was a big ass fight that happened over there. My cousin was on stage because he had performed earlier that day. He was on stage when that fight was going on. So like that nigga was right there. He did some big venues. I've seen my brother make some very, very, very dope power moves. And I saw that a main thing that niggas need from the ground, if you want to build something from the ground up, is for one thing, you need to be ready to grind. You need to be ready to like put as much into it as you can. But the main thing that you need outside of talent is funds. Funds, most definitely. And the thing was, a lot of the artists over there around that time, we were young. They was like around my age, but my brother's a little bit older than I am. But we weren't going about shit the way niggas should have. But even throughout all that, niggas still figured it out. Niggas still put out dope music. There was dope artists there with dope hustles. We had at one point it was a solid. It was fresh school. It was a solid like about 4 or 5 people on there that was most definitely that was releasing music up over there. So the team was solid, and it was just a shame that my cousin, unfortunately he went to jail, and like after that it was like when your main artist falls, something like that, it's hard to recover from. You got nobody that can pick up the slack. Especially not, I'm not saying that nobody could pick the slack up, but he had it. He had the image. He already had the fan base. He had everything that was needed for him to take that next step, and then everybody else gets basically just brought on with him because we all a team. So he was what you would say the cash cow. When the cash cow was done, it happens like that sometimes. But that roster and everybody's still cool together. But really, when my cousin Fresh went down, that's when it was the spiral effect that went down. But all of them still do. Most of them still do music though. Big. I thought he was fucking with that shit again. I thought it was a different one. I didn't know it was a water bottle. Yeah, but most definitely, bro. All of them, people that still do music, their music is still dope. Everybody's still cool with each other. It's not like the shit didn't fall like on some on some hateful shit. Nah, nothing like that happened. Everybody is still cool with each other. It's just, everybody went their separate ways after that, and shit, that's the way life goes. And at this point, I'm like, shit, everything I learned from that, I'm trying to use that as far as what I can see as, bro, even with somebody with one downfall, you can still keep it going. You feel me? You can't let that stop you. And I refuse to let something like that stop me now, for sure. And shout out to my cousin who should be coming out within the next year or two. So shoot, I'm over here doing my shit with this music. So we about to get him right back with us. Bring the whole team back. Fuck it, we all back. Throughout all that adversity, Mill Ticket can still make a comeback. Ain't that funny? There's still some that's there, most definitely. A couple of those, but you don't have all of them. A lot of some of the connections that, for example, like that's how I met Crook. I met Crook through Meal Ticket. My cousin Fresh, him and Crook was they was at Lars at the same time. So my cousin, he used to come back over there to the crib, and then Crook would be with him. And shit, Crook at one point was the Meal Ticket engineer. So I've been knowing him for a long time, bro. That's my nigga right there. And it's crazy because I stepped away from music for a minute, And, I really been keeping in touch with the underground scene and out here. And when I got back, and I'm seeing like certain niggas I follow, and they're saying shit like, "Oh, what do you I'm like, hold up, bro. Let me go and look. I'm like, nah. I'm like, this crew. I'm like, wow, this nigga. Psh. But he always had it, bro. He always had it. And he kept at it. I remember, bro. I remember when Crook used to work, bro. He used to work at this one spot. I forgot where it was at. He would work there, bro, after going to school, and then still had time to go to the studio, then go do the same thing all over again the next day. That nigga was hustling like a motherfucker back then, bro. He was doing this shit. And it most definitely paid off. You can see where he's at right now. This nigga, he worked very hard to get to the point where he's at. Shout out to my boy. Like 2000, I want to say like 2018.
What was the first song you made that year?
Blunt Talk. I think that's either 2018. Yeah, that was right, 2018. It was Blunt Talk by my boy AM. We had did that song after he had just told me that he wanted to start rapping. After all these years of me hearing this nigga the little poetry and all that shit for nigga since high school, this nigga finally decided he was gonna rap after he telling me for years. I don't know, bro. I'm like, nigga, go ahead and record something one day. One day this nigga just posted the song. I'm like, nigga, finally, you fucking rap. And that's the way it went from there. I bring realness. I'm not a janky person. I take this business that I deal with as far as music very serious. So if as far as like me working with you, we gonna get work done, just like that. I bring personality, most definitely. I bring a different sound with the LA sound. It's like I bring a breath of fresh air. That's what I have to say. Compared to, I'm a non-affiliate, so I'm fun with everybody. I don't care what you are, as long as you're a good person, you cool with me, just like that. If people don't like that, that means you're not a good person, player. The first thing I'm gonna do, as far as it's according to what artists, let's say for example, an artist tells me, they want this type of sound for their track. So I'm like, okay, I go in there, I start fucking around with some shit, I start playing some little chords or whatever. They'll be like, oh no, I want this to sound like this. All right, I change it up. I appease to the artist as far to the extent that they like it, and then from there, I add my sauce to it. And 10 times out of 10, the shit works. So my approach is I'm gonna work as far as where the artists, I work with them as extensively as possible. The best songs that I've produced have been when the artist was there with me when I was making the track. Just that simple. I can honestly say that. Those are some of the best songs that I produced. Like, I've been there with the artists. They're with me. They telling me they want this to be changed a little bit. I change it up for them. I ask them like, hey, you like how this sound? Oh, this sound cool, but can you do it with a different sound? I got you. Just that simple. So the more you work with the artist, the better the song is going to be, because the artist is going to feel more gratified, feel better, because they feel like they're more hands-on with this song. And then vice versa. Like, I feel more dope about the song because I'm more hands-on, especially when the artist comes back and asks me, hey, bro, how does this sound? And I'll be like, bro, maybe I think you should say this like this and that. And then they say it like this and that, and they like, oh, bro, the shit sound cool. So, the more involved you are with the artist, the more involved the artist is with the track, I feel that's what makes the best songs, bro. That's just my opinion. I got affiliated with Artists Connect through my neighbor, Boss Man LA. So the person who runs Artists Connect, her name is Jules, and I think Jules, I think he's Jules' apprentice. So I may be wrong with saying this. You feel me? But I think it's something. I think that's what it is. So one day, bro told me, he's like, "Hey, I might need a favor from you." I was like, "What's that, bro? Holla at me." He was like, he said, "I host this music review show, and I want you to be the producer on the producers that I have on there as far as for the interview." I said, "For sure, no problem. I got you. You my nigga. I got you, bro. No issue at all." So we did that interview, and Jules really liked. He told me that Jules really liked the energy and everything that I brought to the interview. So he was all, and then like a little bit later on, he hit me up and was like, "Would you like to host one of the shows with me?" And I said, "For sure, no problem. Just let me know." So I ended up hosting one with him, and I actually ended up hosting two of them with him. But Boss Man LA has he's a very busy man, and Jules still wanted this show to go on. So I was like, we all came together and was like, fuck it, I'll be the host of it. And that's how I became the host of Music Review Live. I do on Thursday, every other Thursday, with Artists Connects. We had some pretty dope people come through there. Had some very, very good artists come through there. Every once in a while, we have some people with a little name come through there. True Car appears on there every once in a while. He'll hop on the comments and they'll check the music out. Pookie's been on there before. Who else has been up on there before? I think Watomi Kwan's been on there before. A few other people just have hopped on there, and they may be on there for like 10 seconds. I give them the shout out. They give me the peace sign, whatever. But bro, you never know who's gonna pop onto this platform, because Artists Connects, their connections run very deep, way deeper than people may realize. Don't let the following on the page fool you. Their connections run very, very deep with people that you most definitely listen to. First and foremost, what he's talking about is absolute ignorance. For one thing, LA is like this the same way. It's the same way around this time of the year, every year. More people get robbed around this time of the year, everything like that. That happens literally everywhere because of obvious reasons. It's the holiday season, so you're gonna be catching people slipping a little bit more. You think you're gonna be getting, catch somebody with some money, robbing somebody from the store. It happens, but it happens all across the globe. But excuse me. As far as it to make it seem like it's about to be a purge out here is absolutely ridiculous. I understand there's a lot of stuff and that's been going on out here, and there's been a lot of shootings and stuff going on like that. But I mean, you take a risk going anywhere you want to. I'm just be honest with you. Every place you go to has its own risk. Like for example, somebody out here think this is just whatever, and go to somebody else's city and be like, oh no, I ain't about to do that. But over there, it's the same thing we feel about the shit out here. They're like, oh, bro, this ain't nothing. This like this all the time. It's just, but I don't like the fact that he put that out there. That's a scare tactic. I don't like that. That causes paranoia amongst people, especially in times that we're in right now. The last thing you want, especially for somebody in power like that, to put out such a message to make people feel like if they come out here or to a certain area, they're basically out here defensive. They have no help. You're making it seem like the police aren't gonna help people out here, and that's not a good message to put out there to people, especially people that are coming in town and visiting, relatives and stuff like that. That's not right. There's unity, but I don't think there's enough. As far as I can give you an example. So out here, there's unity amongst the small time artists, the mid artists, the big artists, stuff like that. There's unity out here, but the the place that I can say that has the best example of unity is Atlanta, because the artists like Lil Baby and stuff like that, they'll work with the mid artists, or even sometimes they'll work with some of the low tier artists according to who they are. You'd be surprised because these top notch artists out there, they're still listening to their local music. Their local music still gets played when they go to like Waffle Houses or something like that. You may go over there in Atlanta and be a top notch artist and go into to a store or somewhere to go eat, and you may hear somebody you never heard of, and you ask somebody like, "Hey, who is that?" And if the person likes your music enough, they may holler at you, because it's all about unity out there. It's all about unity out there. That's why it's so many artists out there that are getting on and getting so much money, because there's so many more artists out there that's willing to help take these other artists to the next level. And that's dope as fuck. We don't have enough of that out here, in my opinion. And that goes big into what I said earlier, is the radio, how the music is being played. Unfortunately for Los Angeles, this is also a tourist attraction out here. So when you're a tourist attraction, you have to go with what's popping. So your local radio stations are more than likely going to be playing these top-notch artists 9 out of 10 more than the up-and-coming artists, compared to Atlanta. If you from Atlanta, your shit getting played somehow. Either your shit getting on the radio, your shit gonna get played somewhere in the strip club or something. Your shit gonna get played. But out here, we don't have that. We don't have that luxury, even though we are where everybody wants to come to and do stuff at, as far as for music, which is which is like an oxymoron to an extent. I don't know if that's the right word or not, but but it's some crazy shit like that. Networking and submitting myself in the city. So the best way of I've seen so far for networking is, of course, going out, to these events. Of course, the pandemic slowed that down a lot. There was still a lot of underground little stuff that was going on that everybody knows about, of course. That was going on across the country, but there was still a little events going on. But even then, like, not everybody wanted to go to them. And there was still other events that went on during the pandemic that followed protocol that, a lot of people didn't want to go to them because shit, obvious reasons. I didn't go to a lot of shit because of those reasons. So, my networking really slowed down like a year and a half ago behind that. So, the best way I've been networking is, contacting people through Instagram, going on other people's page and, interacting on some of these bigger platforms. Those get you followed, especially if you keep an interesting conversation going, or if you piss off the right people and then other people think you're funny and follow you. That happens a lot too. But try to do that if you want to do that on your profile, because all people got to do is just hate on you and just hitting like, oh, report, and then all of a sudden your page is done for. That's another thing artists have to watch out for. I've seen it happen to at least 5 artists. So, I've been doing that. Networking through Artist Connects has helped me a lot as well, as far as reaching out to people outside of the city. That's helped me big time. As Artist Connects. Um, and as far as submitting yourself in your city, you have to put yourself out there. You know, you have to go to, yeah, like I say, you got to go to these events. You know, you have to put yourself out there. You know, you can't progress if nobody knows who you are. You know, your shit can be the dopest shit in the fucking world if nobody heard it, or you can't get your shit out there to the right people. Then what the hell is the point? So that's another thing you have to do. So networking all falls into submitting yourself as somebody in your city, because you know everybody goes by, so everybody has their own path as far as submitting too, because not every artist gets submitted just through music. Sometimes it's, you know, they wrote a song for somebody and that song ended up being popular and people found out this person wrote the song and start fucking with they shit because of that song. Or a song like, for example, with Blast. Blast got a big boost in his following because he produced that Right With It by Kayla For Real. So that was a big song out here. So, and he even said in the interview, like, that was, you know, that song helped boost up his brand. And, you know, some of the work that he's done with other artists before he start putting himself out there more as an artist. You know, sometimes you have to, you know, everybody paths a little bit differently. You know, same thing with Kanye. Kanye, his path got cemented through his producing. Then he became a rapper. Then he became a phenom. And now he's where he's at right now. So everybody paths is a little bit different. You know, it's the whole thing is knowing what your path is and staying on that path. And not try, don't do anything that's not you. Because once you submit yourself, you're gonna be known for whatever it is that helped lead to you being submitted. And that's all I can tell you. Just be yourself, be real. Oh man. Unfortunately I went to school with AM. Not for real.
I'll fuck you up.
Nah, but I knew AM's sister before I knew him. I was
that bitch too.
This nigga's a fucking idiot. Nah, but me and AM's sister, we were best friends in high school, and you know her brother came up here. She's like, you know, hey, this is my brother, whatever, blah blah blah. I like, all right, cool. I like, this nigga smoke.
At the show didn't.
Yeah, at that time it was a no. So, but he was still cool. So I'm like, fuck it. You know, this the homegirl brother shit. This nigga cool. So I ain't been cool with him. Shit. I think I was one of the first people he smoked with at the school. I remember this nigga. I remember one time, nigga, we just finished smoking, my nigga. I'm not lying. I had no money. I spent my money on weed that day. And we was all at Popeyes. This when Popeyes had the chicken, the $2 special, the dollar special on Tuesdays, when it was still $1. So at the Popeyes that we was at, that was by our school, that one had, you can get you can get 2 biscuits for $1. They started doing some extra shit to go with your chicken, because they seen you right down the street from the school, and obviously they smell the smoke. Like, there's no, like, nigga, we used to walk in that motherfucker high as fuck and order, like, niggas spend like about $10 and get 20 pieces of chicken, my nigga, and everybody ate. So that leads to what I'm about to say. Nigga, we sitting there hungry as fuck. This nigga walks in, my nigga, and just drops a fucking box of chicken. Nigga, we like, nigga, we start going after that chicken, nigga, like it was something crazy. But that's the type of nigga he's always been. You know, shit, you need something that bro got it, he gonna look out for you. That's how he is. And I met Harley through him. So I'm like, shit, nigga, he cool. Hey, nigga, he's cool with my nigga. You cool with me. So then we started linking up on me. And that was before, and I was already cool with bro before either one of us was doing music. So when we started doing music, it just made the connection with music even more easier.
That nigga used to pull up, pick up weed, nigga. We
Yep.
didn't have a studio either.
Showed, bro, I used to come up over here, pick up weed from this nigga. I pull up over here. I used to pull up over here sometimes at 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. Be here for like 2 hours smoking, nigga. This nigga cook something, and I go right on about my day. I'm like, nigga, I'll holler at you tomorrow. I mean, I said nigga again until next week. But bro always used to always tell me about him and music. I'm like, nigga, just do it one day. The nigga did it one day and shit. The shit came out cool. So when I'm like, shit, my nigga needs somebody to make beats for him. Shit, fuck, I might as well get back to it. And just like that. That's how that happened. Then shit, that's how I met Harley through AM and their music connection. So everything just worked together and shit. And like I said earlier, the best songs that we've all done is songs that all of us was in the room when the song was being made. From nigga, whether it's they was here when I made the beat and I'm with them niggas when they record the song. So that's the way it goes. What you should do is, this is my approach. So, if you know that you're very good at something with producing, bro, run with that instead of you trying to do too much. Like, for example, like me, I know my drums is going to knock it out the park every single time. My melodies is good too and all that shit, but my drums, I know, nigga, I'm making drums better than the nigga I'm going to collab with. 9 times out of 10. And you know, that's nothing against the niggas that I collab with and stuff like that. But that's just how I feel. And obviously the niggas feel the same way if they keep letting me do the drums. So that's just the way it is, you know. But the thing is, when you do a collaboration, bro, is knowing what you can bring to that track. That's what you do with that. So, for example, I did a track before where one producer did the main chords, he did the melody, bro did he did a bass line. The other producer, he did an 808 and he did the arrangement for the beat. And all I did was the drums. I did the kicks, claps, and hi-hats and the percussions that was needed. And the shit worked. So it's the first thing is knowing what you bring and having the utmost confidence in what you're gonna do. Because the last thing you want to do is, because sometimes, bro, all you gotta do is just reach out. The worst thing I tell people this all the time. The worst thing somebody can say is no. If you can deal with being told no, you're gonna be okay. You feel me? So as far as that, when you get your chance to make your collab, do not fumble your chance, bro. Because sometimes you only get one chance, bro, and you may not ever get that chance again, especially if it's with a big collab. Especially if it's a collab that you know for a fact it can expose you to a bigger crowd. The last thing you want to do is, bro, is to be the nigga that lags when you on the track on the spot. You don't want to be the nigga who doesn't want to listen to input. Always listen to input. Because even when I did my drums on that particular track, I still asked for the input of the nigga who was the main producer on there. So I'm still like, bro, do you want the hi-hat to sound like this, or you want me to switch it up a little bit right here? Bro was like, oh, this part is cool, but when you get to right here, give me a little change up. I gave the nigga a little change up. He said that was cool, but can you do another one? I gave him another one. He's like, all right, the first one you did was straight. Just like that, bro. And then it's the same way. You got to learn how to work with this, because the thing is with the collab is you're bringing the best of your skills with another producer, and that bringing the best of your skills together to make something hot. That's what you're doing. And make sure you can deal with constructive criticism. And make sure you do not fumble that chance. Because if you fumble that chance, whoo, good luck. Good luck. Daz is for sure. Daz is my favorite producer of all time. Like for me, if I were to like do a collab with any producer, and I did a collaboration with Daz Dillinger, that would be like my dream as a producer, for sure. And that's not too far of an attainable goal. You know, it can most definitely happen within the next few years, for sure. But that would be one of my like as far as like if I want to put that on something as far as like nigga like one of my personal accomplishments as a producer, that would be one of them. Like to have like either him hop on my song or him like coke like something evolved. That would be it. Battle Cat is on there for sure. Like I said, Battle Cat and Daz are the staples of West Coast music. Well, two of the staples of West Coast music. Who else? Jay Dilla is on that list too. For all y'all don't know about Jay Dilla, y'all should most definitely look up Jay Dilla. Jay Dilla was he was the Beethoven of MPC. Like, bro, this nigga is easily, niggas say Kanye as far as like the sampling, bro. There's no nigga colder with sampling than Jay Dilla. Jay Dilla sampled this one song so cold and flipped it so crazy. Somebody played it to the actual people whose song it was, and the nigga couldn't recognize that it was sampled from his song. You know how cold you gotta be for a nigga whose song it is to not know you sampled his song? That's insane. Who else I gotta have on there? I have Timbaland on my top 5. The reason why I have Timbaland on my top 5 is Timbaland's versatility. The fact of that this nigga made hip hop fire classics and R&B classics is insane, bro. And pop classics. His range, him and Pharrell, their range is so insane, but I prefer Timbaland as a producer. Even though I really fuck with Pharrell. Pharrell is like number 6 on my list though. He's not in my top 5. Who else? I mean, I'm for sure. I'm a big fan.
That's 4 right now, right? You got one more, I think.
Who the 4 I said?
So you got Daz, Battle Cat.
Daz, Battle Cat. I got Jay Dilla.
Timbaland.
Whoo. Man. I gotta say probably Zaytoven. I really like Zaytoven's beats because a lot of people don't know that Zaytoven is from the Bay Area. So he mixed West Coast sound and with the trap shit, bro, and like took it to a whole nother level. Like with the melodies and he is, even niggas say Metro Boomin. He's the more popular one out of all those. But dog, Zaytoven, he's next level. Like his melodies, the bro's piano work, he can make anything, bro. I always say, if you're very good at playing the piano, bro, you can be a very good producer. All because, nigga, you just gotta think of something bro, and he got it. That might be my top 5 right there. For sure. But there's some honorable mentions. I like I'm a big fan of Justice League. I really like the somatic tracks they make. Who else? I like Metro Boomin. His beats are very, very good. Dr. Dre is, of course, one of the most influential producers ever. Jermaine Dupri is actually a very good producer as well. Who else? Even like producers from like, OG shit. Like you gotta go like Smokey Robinson. Smokey Robinson, well, he's not a producer, dope songwriter. So, but who I could think of, like Quincy Jones. dope, just, oh my God, insane. His catalog is unheard of. I gotta do just say Quincy Jones, and this it's like that. Diddy's a very dope producer. Who else? DJ Premier is a very dope producer, most definitely. And even like I know I got producers that are like small time producers, people I don't even know about, that are pretty dope too. The young producers that I really like though, seriously. I'm trying to think of the young producers that I really like. I like it's this guy that produces for the baby a lot. The dude be like, DA got that dope. Him. He's a very dope producer. I like his style of producing. I like what you call this style. Like I like a lot of these new West Coast producers too. Like from out here, a lot of people not know about them. Like what's his name? Like Romo. There's Too Raw. He's dope. Who else? I feel like there's a dude. What's his name? The dude be like, he's like, it's $1 million. You want $1 million? He's a dope producer. Who else is? Blast is a dope producer. Blast is a very, very dope producer. So it's a lot of heat out here, bro. So it's all according to what your style is. But my top 5 most definitely them. Most definitely. Hold on, bro. I'm fucking up. I'm taking Timbaland out my my what you call it. It's Cardo. Cardo got wings. It's definitely in my top 5. That nigga, bro. If this nigga Cardo were a producer in the 90s, this nigga would be a legend right now, bro. This nigga is so ill, bro. Like that nigga, as far as like the newer producers that I really, really keep in touch with, it's definitely him. Cardo got wings. Oh yeah, I fuck with Sledgerin. Sledgerin actually
Glitch Realm, all that shit.
You want to hear something funny? A funny thing about Sledgerin? Sledgerin actually sent my cousin Fresh, who's locked up right now. Mm-hmm. He sent him a beat 2 or 3 months before he sent this song a beat to Wiz that got recorded. And bro, the song is oh my God, bro. He made a part 2 of it that had Rick Ross on it and Amber Rose.
Fucking Never Been.
I think it was part 1.
Damn.
Yeah, bro. I think he sent my cousin. No. He actually sent my cousin part 2. That one. He actually sent that nigga that one in particular. He sent him that one. He sent him that beat. He sent to my cousin that, and my cousin recorded to the song. He never released it. But Sledger sent him a bunch of tracks like back. Like it was crazy, bro. Bro. I'm telling you, my cousin. He was close. He was close, bro. He was very, very close.
That's crazy. That's fucking wild. That's what's up. So whose beat taught you the most, though? Yeah, answer that one.
All right. So the person who beats taught me the most. Daz. I want to say Battle Cat and probably Cardo. Only because, like, bro, like, for as far as, like, what I really wanted to, because my thing is, when I came back to making beats, I was like, I want to make, like, modernized, like, 90s, early 2000s West Coast, like, type beats. I want to modernize it somehow. And in the midst of all that, you know, I listened to a lot of Daz's music, a lot of songs that was produced by Battle Cat. I listened to a lot of their songs around that time. So early on, like, I used them as a big influence as far as, like, my tracks, how I want to make them. And then, like, now, Cardo, and the thing I like about Cardo is Cardo gives a lot of free game about this music shit. Like, if you watch Cardo's producer grind interview, bro was rolling up this backwood for like about 30 minutes of the video. But throughout the whole time, the nigga was saying some real shit on there. So I fuck with him off of that. I've always fuck with his beats. And the more I start listening to him and looking back at his catalog, I'm like, bro, he's made some shit for a long time. And he's barely, in my opinion, getting like the real recognition that he really should have always had. because if you really look back at it, his tracks aren't too much different than the ones he used to make for like Kush and Orange Juice and all that. But it's just this his craft has gotten better, of course, and everything that he does. But it's like now is the time that this music is popping. You know, maybe him getting like Payroll Giovanni and fucking Larry June and them to get on those type of tracks. Those are the type of tracks these niggas are in demand of for their audience. And he's the producer to come through with them for it, and it built upon his shit while he's still overproducing hot tracks of fucking Kendrick and Drake. You don't even know it. So, and he works with artists at all different levels, and he's very versatile. I fucks with Cardo heavy. Cardo is a dope ass producer, bro. He is ill. When did I achieve full confidence in my skills? When did I achieve full? I think, bro, I achieved full confidence when I really found out that when I found my structure that I needed for my tracks, and I figured out how to mix my tracks better. When I found, this is what really gave me confidence, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. When I'm listening to a lot of these artists, and like especially like the local artists, and I'm hearing the music, and these are like artists that are popping out here in the city, and I'm listening to the like some of the quality of some of their songs, I'm like the beat sometimes like these basses they let the bass hit so hard that the track starts sounding cloudy and all that shit, and you know my shit don't. I make sure my shit don't do that. So I took the extra step in making sure like clarity, and the person who showed me that was actually my boy Marcus. He's a producer named it's El. I think it's El Senor. That's his name, but his name is Marcus. I don't know why I'm saying bro name wrong, but his name is Marcus. Marcus Mayhem. There we go. He changed his name. So, bro came to my house, and he predominantly does trap beats, but he's also he's an engineer as well. Like bro didn't compose like mixed live instruments and all that shit before, like for people. So, and he has a little buzz on his own. So he came to my house one day, and then randomly I met him. He was my Uber driver one day, and I told him that I made beats, and he told me to tap in with him. And I tapped in with him, and shit, bro came over to the house, and bro he showed me how to make my 808s hit a certain way, bro. And once I figured that out, it was over. Literally, that's really what it was. When I figured out how to have my 808s hit like hard without it sounding cloudy, it was a wrap. That's all it took for me. Once I figured that one thing out, it was over. Yeah, of course.
Like what?
I consider I'm trying to be better as an R&B producer. Because you know shit. I mean, I like R&B music, so you know I don't mind listening to dope R&B artists. So you know I want to find artists like that, like as far as like singers to work with more. And in order for me to do that, I gotta make more R&B sounding, or at least like type of beats where a singer want to hop on. So that's why you know I changed my approach to certain tracks more often, excuse me, than I did early on. With certain ones, I was trying to make tracks that are versatile enough to where a singer can hop on it and do their shit or whatever, do her shit, he do his shit. A nigga who does harmonizing can hop on there and do his shit or whatever. And then I can have a nigga that want to shit just rap on there and just be hardcore as he wants to and just hop on the track and do some shit like that. He can do that as well. So that's why I try to build it like that as far as versatility. I've also thought about thing I've thought about doing, but it's weird because I'm like, bro, I don't listen to it at all. It's fucking EDM music. I don't listen to EDM music that much, but don't get me wrong, that's dope EDM music. But as far as producing it, I don't know if I can do it. I have to listen to it more often to do that. But I really want to tap into doing Spanish tracks more. You know, that's the one thing that's different for me. But I figured out a way to hop into that lane without really, you know, shifting too much. I can bring my own flavor to the lane. And so far it's worked. So I'm gonna keep doing that shit. I might fuck around and be a mogul in this shit. You never know, nigga. Be something different. Yeah.
How so?
I think COVID showed niggas that showed two things in my opinion. One, it showed that these niggas really realize how much, as far as like an artist, your income is really based off of shows, bro. Like for niggas who get paid for shows that weren't able to do shows, I'm pretty sure that was killing them. You couldn't, nigga, everything's canceled. Nigga, there's certain niggas that were on that had whole tours canceled. You feel me? So that's a lot of bread that's gone. But I think that aspect of that, you know, people, and that led to people educating themselves in music a little bit more. You know, I think people figured out more so in this way and during the pandemic how to become more independent artists than, you know, wondering how to, like, you know, be a slave to the labels. You know, people figured out how more to get better contracts now. And, you know, let's be honest, if you have the funds for it, you really don't need a label for too much. I'ma just be honest. Like if you can afford to pay niggas for features, you can afford to pay for your studio time, you can afford to pay for your promo, you pretty much don't need the label for shit. Let's just be honest. You don't really need, because bro, there's whole ways for you to advertise your music without a label's help, bro. You can do ads through fucking Google, through Facebook. You can do. There's so many ways you can have other people, that help like manage your stuff, to help put your music in the right direction. There's people that literally have jobs that's to help independent artists promote their music. So there's so many more platforms you can do without having a label fucking you at the end of the day. You feel me? So if you have all the funds to support your music career, I suggest you don't sign a label unless you just really want to. Unless the label can give you a little bit better push than you can give yourself. Me personally, at times my work ethic isn't up to par. You feel me? You know, and sometimes that comes with, you know, being up and coming. You know, you have these moments where your work isn't up to par the way it should be, and you know you got to check yourself every once in a while. Be like, hey, nigga, or nigga, somebody you working with is like, hey, bro, you moving kind of slow, man. What's going on? Sometimes you want to like, all right, bro, I'm back. You feel me? So that's one thing, and me personally, that might be it. And shit, outside of that, shit, just opportunity. You know, that's with any artist, opportunity. You know, especially as a producer, you know, sometimes you one song away from all of a sudden you a known name. You run into the right artist, make the right song at the right time. That's the way it is. And take advantage of the opportunities when you get them. I haven't always took advantage of opportunities that I've had. Luckily for me, they have ended up biting me in the ass. I end up getting a second opportunity with those opportunities. That's a good question. I think they fall hand in hand because if you're extremely passionate about something with no work ethic, and you're not gonna work as hard if you have no passion. So it's like you at the end of the day, it kind of seems like you need the hard work is needed, but you need both. So it's like at that point, it depends on the person, in my opinion. Rejection don't bother me at all, bro. Rejection just means another opportunity, you know. Because the thing is, when I get rejected, it's not really a rejection. It's more so like a not this one. That's the way that's what you see about it when you come to that. You gotta see like this ain't the one for this person. You know, I may see it as nigga, this shit might be cool for this nigga, but when it's time for this nigga to rap it, he may not be feeling it. So that's just the way it is. There's been plenty of times where I just sent tracks out and niggas then recorded the songs and didn't like the song. I was like, bro, I recorded to the shit, I didn't really fuck with it. And they sent the shit back to me. Guess what I did? Sent it to another artist. Just like that. Nigga, it's just rotation. Nigga, not every track is for everybody, not every producer's for everybody. You have to remember that. My biggest goal for 2022 is to improve my brand as a producer, as a host, as a podcast producer, is to improve, take my game to the next level. And as far as music wise, I want to in December of next year, I want to actually release a compilation tape with artists that I know. So I want that to happen next year. So I'm gonna build my repertoire with artists all throughout the year. So, bro, when I release this tape, this shit can be hot. And same thing with producers. It's not gonna be just me. I'm gonna be the main producer, but it's gonna be songs. Of course, I'm gonna have collabs with other producers on there as well. So, the main goal is that, and it's just to reach out to more artists. Let my name be on more singles that niggas are releasing. Last year, my life has been up and it's been down. There was definitely more good times than bad, but when the bad times came around, it was kind of like, whoa. The bad times didn't last long though, but when they was there, it was such a gut punch. It was like, damn, it was like a lasting effect even throughout some of the good times sometimes, and that's just the way it is. But throughout all that, the best thing that came for this year for me was me finding out I'm gonna be a dad next year. That was literally the highlight of my year. You feel me? Like throughout everything that happened this past year, hearing that, especially finding out like towards the end of the year, it's like, damn, like, nigga, fuck whatever I just went through this past year, nigga, these past few months, nigga, my next, till I'm dead, nigga, about to be lovely. Like, nigga, I'm about to be a dad, nigga, so, shit, nigga, I have, it brings more, your life has more of a purpose now. Your life always has a purpose. Don't get me wrong, but you personally feel like your life has more of a purpose now that you have a child or something that that is going to look up to you, like something you have to, like something that you're going to be protecting. This person is going to be into this world is of me. You feel me? So I want to be the best example for this person. I want to get all my bullshit out the way before this child even finds out that I was bullshitting. You feel me? So that's most definitely the best thing that's happened to me this past year. That was definitely the highlight of my year. my nigga A.M. Vicious. Gotta look out for my nigga Harley. Need to look out for my boy FIFA. He doing this shit right now. He gonna make it a big some big noise next year. Who else I could think of? I could think of some producers gonna be doing some shit next year too. Shit, I'm pretty sure Danny B, he gonna be having some shit going on next year for sure. For sure, I see he putting together a compilation tape as well. Some other artists and producers. I gotta look out for my boy IQ. He always every year this nigga releases like about 3 or 4 songs and be some shit for somebody. I'm pretty sure he'll do another song with Pac-Man again. That last song was fire too. For people that don't know about that, check that out. I'm trying to think who else. Listen, look out for my nigga T Cash out there in Compton. He's pretty good. Look out for my nigga Zoe Osama. He most definitely gonna be doing some shit. Look out for probably my nigga B More. He's a singer out here. He gonna release some projects pretty soon as well. My boy Zay Dior out there in Texas, he just released something I think a couple weeks ago. I produced a track on there. He gonna be releasing some songs pretty sure in a couple more within the next couple of months. That's off the top. That's people like, oh, I'm gonna look. I know for a fact this nigga Tapri Graham's gonna be dropping some like about 30 albums next year, like he usually do. But those are the people off the top of my head I can see like they're gonna make some big steps next year. Directly next to the I actually have a couple of singles I'm gonna be releasing over the next couple of months that are still in the works. I have I think I'm gonna be releasing another beat tape pretty soon. And shit. So far, that's all I know. And that, like I said, in December next year, I plan on making this compilation tape. I don't know what it's going to be called yet, but that's going to be my plan for December. And I'm for sure supposed to be releasing. I'm for sure releasing a beat tape in July of next year too. So people can look out for that.